am I?
I bought an energy drink to do this podcast yesterday because I was trying to be forward thinking, and I put it in the pantry instead of the fridge.
Smart.
Yep. So it's hot, and I had to pour it into a cup, which, looking at an energy drink, like,
You're not supposed to do that.
you're not supposed to see like what it looks like, and
That's like cutting open a battery.
it's really dark purple. And,
I wonder why they color it.
well, this is the blue flavor of Red Bull. Yeah, so it's purple.
Had blue flavor.
Oh, it's really good. The red flavor of Red Bull, which is not to be confused with the original flavor of Red Bull, which is kind of gross. I mean, I like it, but I can admit that it's gross. Yeah, the red and blue flavors are really good. It's like if they weren't energy drinks, I might still drink them anyway.
I do not consume energy drinks.
Yeah, it's probably for the best. They're not good for you.
Yes, I am a beacon of health.
What's something healthy you've eaten recently?
I had a banana a couple hours ago.
Those are pretty healthy.
Yeah. This is also
I need to go get more bananas. It's like my fruit of choice. I've just been eating vitamins a lot.
I actually had a banana, sweet potato, and orange pepper.
Ooh.
That was my dinner. So
I had Chipotle, like half of a bowl last night.
that's not as healthy.
But it's not, all things considered, could be more unhealthy. You know?
That's it's a fool's way of rationale.
Well, it's like I could have had a burger.
I mean, you also could have just like done meth, if we're gonna go down that route.
Yeah. And
I didn't. So
I'm doing okay. Small victories,
Sorry, I'm doing a project over here, so
That's
a
exciting.
little bit distracted.
Yeah. Well, I'll talk about. Do you ever get tonsil stones?
No, I thought that I was going to. When I heard that they exist,
They're really gross.
yeah, when I heard that they exist, I was like, oh, I definitely have those. And then I check like once a month, and I have never.
You can check. Like, I just have to cough them up. And
Well,
I'm like, wow, that's disgusting.
they exist like in the roof of your mouth.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess they hang out until you cough them up, but I only really notice them when it's, I suppose, too late.
Yeah,
They're really gross.
that never happened. It
Yeah.
seems like it's a product of your diet.
It, yep. And mine could be better, but yeah, I coughed up one of those this morning, and I was like, "Ah, yes, time for an energy drink."
Yeah, that
I'm ready to
tracks.
podcast.
That tracks with the quality of the podcast.
Yeah, they smell horrible.
Yeah,
I'd like to get my tonsils removed if I could, if that stops it. I don't really know what tonsils are.
No, I don't know either. I like when I hear the word tonsil, I'm like, that's the dangly thing. It's not the dangly.
No,
thing.
it's not that's the uvula, right?
Yeah. When I hear uvula, I think of vagina. I feel like the guy who made up words for stuff, sometimes he really fucks up.
Yeah, we really dropped the ball
A lot
Tonsil
of
and uvula.
tonsil and uvula, no good. Uvula should be like the clitoris should be called the uvula,
Yeah,
and the uvula should just be called the dangly thing. It doesn't need a specific name. And
yeah.
then
I'd be more content if it didn't have a name. We just kind of didn't acknowledge it altogether. You know.
yeah, I don't know why it's there. I feel like it doesn't need to be there.
It's there so you throw up when you're supposed to have a gag reflex.
But what do we need a gag reflex for? Like, we only have a gag reflex because of the thing. If we just didn't have the dangly thing.
I think it's so that you don't like choke on eating too much food.
But
Or
we
choke on sucking too much dick. Am I right, ladies and fellas? Folks.
Here's my thing with that, though. The human body is designed by a complete idiot, and I've said this for many years. Why is the tube that we breathe out of the same tube that we eat with? Like,
there's a period of time where I was constantly choking on food.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what I was doing wrong, but like for a month, I just decided that like every time I'd go to Sonic and get something to eat there, I would choke on it. Oh my God, Emmy, stop using your litter box right now. It's so loud.
Emmy, you're an idiot.
Whoa.
You know what?
That's a controversial. She is an idiot.
I stand by
it. Okay, I think nope. She thought she was done, and she's going to go back and move the litter around some more. This is great content.
There's two things. There's three things that you have to do to survive. You have to breathe, you have to eat, and you have to drink. And you use the same organ for all of it. And
it's pretty efficient.
No, because you can't do any of them at the same time.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like, if you drink or eat improperly, you could just die.
Do you ever choke while driving?
No.
Or is this not a universal experience?
I mean, it might be. I feel like a more universal experience is having a bee in the car.
Oh, no, I've never had a bee in the car, but like I've choked on mozzarella sticks from Sonic while driving and just had to like choke and drive and then eventually pull over and like throw up the partially digested mozzarella stick and continue on my way home.
That's a big shame. Those are good mozzarella sticks.
Yeah, no, they are. I had ones at Burger King yesterday and they're horrible.
Do not go to Burger King. What are you, dumb?
No, I like the Stacker King at Burger King. I wish it was just the regular Stacker because the Stacker King is too big. I always eat like half of it and then I stop.
I used to go to Burger King in high school.
Yeah.
Only as a joke.
Oh.
Like, I've never liked Burger King. And there was a Burger King that was like a 40-minute walk from my high school. And we had like an hour and 15 minutes for lunch. And I was like,
so yeah, you could swing that kind of.
Like, if you eat on the way back and you order extremely quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, if I go, it'll be funny because no one else goes to Burger King because it's too far.
And it's not great. But again, I genuinely like the Stacker. And the Impossible Whopper's not bad. It's not great, but it's, you know.
I think that the Impossible meat is good.
Yeah.
I also I don't know the difference between the Impossible and the Beyond. I've had them both, and I forget that I'm doing that. And I'm like, oh yeah, this wasn't meat. That's cool. And then that's it.
Yeah. You're like, oh, that was neat, and then there's no
payoff. Like, you don't get anything afterwards. They're like, hey, congrats, you did something. You just have to remember on your own, which is annoying.
Yeah, the Committee of Vegetarians doesn't give you a high five after you eat it, which is maybe the only reason to do it. And they don't even give you the high five.
No, they give you nothing. It's quite rude.
Do you want to hear about a crime that almost happened to me yesterday? And I know for some of our longtime listeners, this is going to sound like I'm going to complain about a woman, but I'm not.
This is a real bad boy crime.
This is about a man who I think, well, tried to pull one over on me and it didn't work because anyway. So I was at Target as I normally am. As an aside, I found a cartel of evil boys who were standing around while the Pokemon card lady was restocking the area of Pokemon cards. And I'm presuming that these guys are the ones buying them all out, like, immediately.
Yeah.
Which, as a subplot, it's been difficult to do Pokemon card videos for the channel when there are no Pokemon cards to buy. So that's irritating. But I was outside of the Target, and you know how, like, stores have there's the various rows in the parking lot, but there's that, like, one, it's not, like, exactly a road because it's a parking lot, but there's the road in front of all the stores.
Yeah.
Where there's higher than the normal amount of parking lot traffic, you might say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was standing. Well, I wasn't standing there. I was walking through there because that's how you get to your car that you parked. And this guy comes up to me, and he looks between the ages of 16 and 21. It's hard to tell with a mask on, but
little baby.
He was a youth, but like on the older end of youth, which is important.
I'm still on the older end of youth.
You know what? As am I. But he was. He looked older than potentially someone would be in high school. And the guy was like, "Hey, do you want to donate money to like my school because like they're trying to like raise money to." I mean, this is me doing a poor recollection of it because, to be honest, I wasn't really listening.
He sold it a little bit better than you are, is what you're saying.
Well, only a little bit because I never gave him any money. But he's like, yeah, like my school's raising money to go to like states or like a championship or something. I don't really know. But raising money to do something regarding the football team. And I was not really listening because the whole time I was like, well, hold on a second. One, why are you at the parking lot of a Target at 12:30 in the middle of the day?
Yeah, that is a little bit suspicious.
That's kind of strange. Like, shouldn't you either A, be in school, or B, be at home, which I think most people are right now because their school is at home.
Yeah, unless you need to buy Pokemon cards, in which case you should be at Target.
Well, all the people buying the Pokemon cards were grown-ass men, some of which who were older than me, which I was taking offense to. I was like, you guys need to stop this. I should be stopping this, but you guys definitely need to. And second of all, with this guy, if you are at home and that's why you're able to go to Target at 12:30 in the middle of the day, how are you on a football team? Do you even have a football? Do schools have football teams right now? 1, 2, is football even in season right now? Because from my experience, football's over in the fall, at least like high school football, right?
Yeah.
So already I'm like, what this guy is telling me does not make any sense. It's just a strange thing. And like he was holding like a laminated thing that was like a collage of dudes playing football, and then like I think the name of the school, I didn't really look at it that closely, and then I think it had like $10 written on it in Sharpie, is like that's how much you're supposed to donate, I guess. Yeah. And I was looking at it and I'm like, it looked really beat up, like this is something like that has been used a lot, which doesn't really make any sense because if you're doing this for the one time,
yeah,
it shouldn't be that roughed up. And two, it didn't really look very professional. It didn't look like something an official school document. And so once he gets to the part where he's like, "Hey man, give me money," and it's my turn to talk, where I'm like, "No," because obviously I'm not going to give him money. He was like, halfway through me saying I wasn't going to give him money, he's like, "All right, okay." And then he walks away and then runs across the parking lot to a lady who was also about to walk into the highly trafficked road part and do the same thing for her. Very bewildering. So I think he was trying to scam me. So for the folks at home, peek behind the curtain. The internet died.
My internet died.
Yeah, in the middle of me telling a story. So we're back a day later, and now we have a special treat for you, the fans. We have a soundboard.
We did it, boys. Name any sound.
How about a popular meme? Okay. That is
the only sound that I have. That's not true. That meme.
Yeah. Oh, Ted Allen, a friend of the cast.
Ted Allen, close friend.
I believe we talked about him episode 1, so we're really coming full circle.
Yes. Yeah. I was good friends with Tim Allen and his dealer. Sorry, I'm going to bleep that out in post.
You're going to bleep out the bleep out noise that you just did?
Okay.
Oh.
The bit was...
I'm so stupid.
We're keeping all this in. It's clearly doing a bit. Yeah. So anyway,
I'm so stupid.
It wasn't a great bit. It's fine. But I will say,
I'm doing pretty good as far as geniuses go.
In terms of the soundboard.
Yeah.
You might say that I'm
very nice.
I love that for the viewer. No time has really passed between me talking about maybe getting scammed in the Target parking lot to fucking around with the soundboard for 5 minutes. But for us, there's been a day of planning behind this.
There's been so much effort put in.
Yeah.
And to that, you might say,
all right. How's the Candy Factory been?
It's been sweet.
I need my inhaler. I'm feeling a little asthmatic right now.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm good.
Anyway, this is a true crime podcast where we talk about all the villains of the world.
Oh, okay. So I have another one. Just anybody.
Did you finish the Target story?
I don't remember, but I'm going to say that I basically did. I think I was just going to kind of keep going about how confused I was about the whole situation.
And then you walked away, and the scammer was like,
"Bruh." No, the scammer walked away from me. Right. And I was like, bruh. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I think people who use read receipts on text messages should all go to jail.
You say read receipts?
Yeah, because they read. Read receipt?
I've always said red receipt, and then I saw a meme that was like, I've been saying this wrong the whole time. And I was like, but it makes sense. I've never heard anyone actually say read receipt.
Oh, I say read receipt because it's like when you read it, it sends a receipt. And then also, like, read receipt sounds better off the tongue than red receipt. Because I just think of a red colored receipt.
If I heard someone say read receipt, I would say,
stop talking to me.
Whoa. That one was a little loud.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, it has been turned down. I got knobs over here. I got skills.
And you're a little shy about using them.
I am a little shy.
Yeah.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because of how things are working over here, I got some abilities. You continue telling a story, and I'm gonna do something. You don't need to tell a story. I'm already done.
I'm like, I don't really have any more stories, I don't think.
I'm already done. I just forget what button I wanted to push.
Great.
Is that cooler?
No. Someone's kid at work was involved in an actual crime, like the victim of a crime.
Oh, we don't talk about the victim here.
Yeah, that's fair. And
unless
then everyone at work, unless it's specifically me and nobody else. Anyway, yeah. My boss was telling me this story about like her kid getting robbed at the store that she worked at.
Very nice.
Yeah, and I just was getting really upset at like that the robber robbed a vape shop and not, a bank, a delivery driver, a fast food place. All better options than a vape shop. And then everyone was looking at me kind of funny, like I was missing the point. I'm like, little do you...
Have I told the story of when I was robbed at work?
At work?
Yeah, at work.
At the candy factory?
No. It was my first job. I worked at a dollar store, folks. Real high quality stuff. And this obvious meth addict, which is fine. Everyone deals with addiction in some form. I'm not going to hold it against him. He took out like a hunting knife and threatened to murder me over like $145.
That's Canadian money. That's like $10 in American.
Yeah, but we live in Canada, so it's $145 anyway. You didn't steal Canadian money and then go to America and be like, fuck. Like he used it in Canada. Probably to buy drugs.
But my point is that 145 in Canadian money is not as much as 145 in American money.
It does not have that much buying power, you're correct.
Yeah.
But in the same parking lot as the dollar store is a bank. 5 minutes down the road, there is a liquor store. There's like convenience stores without cameras. I was at a chain dollar store, so
I don't get why people rob places in a foolish manner. I don't understand.
I almost died. It was crazy.
That is crazy. But like, like statistically, you can get away with one bank robbery.
Yeah, probably.
Like, if you do it more than once, that's where you get caught. But if you do it just once, not that I am condoning anybody doing this, I'm just stating statistics.
I mean, on our previous episode, we discussed getting away with a bank robbery and the guys who tunneled in and welded the vault door shut so they can't find them. They got away.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, I did once. You probably weren't listening, but it's fine.
No, I don't remember. I mean, when we record these in the morning, I think my memory of them is particularly an old. Oh, maybe it's a lost episode.
Could be. I don't think no. It was the episode Robbery.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. That's
Now
so
I
long in the
remember.
past that I don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, it was fine. Rob a bank is what we're saying.
No, don't rob a bank.
Okay,
please.
let me walk that back. Rob a credit union.
I don't get credit unions.
Yeah, I don't really know. I thought it was just like boomer for bank, but apparently it's not.
No, they're very different. Like people are like, "Oh, I belong to a credit union," and I'm like, "Is that like a?" And then me being privileged, I'm like, "Is that for poor people?" Because I don't know what a credit union is.
I think that it's for people of a specific community. Like you could have a Ukrainian credit union, or you could have like a credit union for welders or something.
Okay, so Wikipedia says...
No, let's just go with my definition.
No, well, I'm already here. It's too late. We're rolling. Credit union is... Yeah, the echo on that sucks. Is a member-owned financial cooperative controlled by its members and operated on the principle of people helping people, providing its members credit at competitive rates as well as other financial services. Which sounds like a scam, right?
I wasn't listening, but yeah, sure. That's a scam. I'll hit that one with a...
You have too much power.
I mean, this is your idea. This is...
Well, you had the thing, and I was like, well, you could use it as a soundboard, and you're like, oh, don't worry.
It is all I will use it for.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. Anyway, enough about banks and credit unions. Just rob one and get on with it.
No. Don't commit crimes.
Well, if you commit a crime, you may be spoken about on this podcast.
Yes. If you do commit a crime, not that we're saying that you should, but if you do, we might ask you to be on the podcast.
Yeah, if you could like pay phone in from jail,
that would be very interesting. Do they have Discord in jail?
I highly doubt they have Discord in jail.
Especially the jails that house all the pedophiles. They would love to have Discord. They would love to have Discord.
They would. But we do not want a pedophile on this podcast. If you're in jail and you're listening, if you're a loyal listener, only commit one of the cool crimes. Pedophilia, not cool. Rape, not cool. Bank robbery, pretty cool.
Yeah. Murder?
Depends.
Depends.
If it was a crime of passion, But
if you're a white woman, very cool.
Yeah. If it was a crime of passion, I'm like not that interested. But if you like, I don't know, if you planned out a first degree murder of, I don't know, just as a random example, a U.S. politician, you can be on this podcast.
What politician are you ordering a hit on? That we, by the way, this is a joke.
This is not a joke. Look at my lawyer's face right now. We're in the courtroom. Look at my lawyer's face. He knows this is not a joke. I'm 100% serious. If you have murdered a U.S. politician, you can be on this podcast.
For educational purposes.
You see how upset my lawyer is right now?
Yeah. Uh-huh. What's your lawyer's name?
Something Stein.
Okay. Well, I watched an interesting YouTube video yesterday about Gone Girl, and then also this one white lady who killed her ex-husband and his new wife. Her name escapes me. But she was pretty famous. Okay, no.
All right, I'll stop doing that one. It's not good.
Yeah. What the fuck's her name? I'm sure somebody in the audience knows what I'm talking about. But
Our audience is very aware of crimes, as they love true crime.
well, we have at least like 2 girls who listen, and the girls, specifically white girls, love true crime. They also love using their whiteness to their white femininity to get away with murder. Except this lady didn't get away with it, but she almost did.
Some bitches on your dick.
Yeah, that sounded like shit.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, that's we don't like a pussy pass, as it's known in the industry.
The
In the
criminal
courtroom.
industry.
In the courtroom. In the courtroom, they're just like, listen, bitch, you don't got a pussy pass. You're paying this parking ticket.
Do murderers have unions?
I mean, they could.
I
Why
guess
not?
that's kind of like what the mafia was, isn't it?
A murderers union?
Kind of.
Like hitmen, maybe. Could be a hitman's union. You're just
And
like,
Assassin's
look,
Creed, if you will.
hitmen don't work on Sundays. Just like, you can't expect that.
No.
Right. You gotta have blackout dates on hitmen.
Give them the holidays off.
Yeah, no one wants to get murdered on a holiday anyway.
No one wants to do a murder on a holiday. I would hope not.
I mean, it's just like, it's bad for everyone involved. You're just like enjoying Easter and you get iced? Nah. Stupid.
Well, I feel like everybody gets. I mean, traditionally people get Easter off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're enjoying Easter and a hitman's gotta ice you.
Well, like retail workers, like they don't get Christmas off sometimes, or rather, almost all the time they don't get Christmas off.
Movie theater workers definitely do not get Christmas off.
Oh yeah, because we get Christmas releases. I love going to those.
You're the reason. And also the Jewish community, whom we love.
Yeah, I saw. Oh yeah, because last year I saw Uncut Gems. Well, I guess 2 years ago. No, 2019 Christmas Eve is when I saw Uncut Gems. And that's a good Christmas movie, or a good Hanukkah movie, I guess.
It's a good Christmas movie. I'll give it Christmas.
It happens in that time of year.
Sure. All right. So is that Target guy your bad boy of the week?
Yeah, because I was doing a lot of research into getting a actual criminal, but then when I was almost the victim of a crime myself, I figured I'd speak out, my truth.
That's fair.
Yeah.
The truth of just like being slightly annoyed in a parking lot.
I mean, when you phrase it like that, that kind of takes the severity of what happened to me, away. Kind of silencing my lived experience. But yeah, I guess I was mildly annoyed in the parking lot. When he walked away, I made that noise.
That's good. All right, I will discuss my bad boy of the week.
I forget that we do that.
This is a very good
true crime podcast. I love telling girls on apps. They're like, I love true crime podcasts. I'm like, I have a true crime podcast. And they never respond. But one day they will. They're going to really be in for something.
Yeah. I mean, if you met this man on an app and you are listening to this podcast, just give it a chance. Give it 6 episodes. Just listen.
Oh, give the podcast a chance.
Yeah, I don't care about what happens to you.
Maybe you got rid of that old yee ass haircut you got. You get some bitches on your dick.
Is a mullet a yee ass haircut?
Yes. If it is on any white man in the world, it is a yee ass haircut.
Oh well, because I do have a yee ass haircut, I suppose.
I don't suppose. I know. Anyway, my bad boy of the week, as requested. The people have been clamoring for more of the true crime content, and many people have mentioned in my DMs DB Cooper.
He is the people. He's the person that people think Tommy Wiseau is.
Yes. You ruined my bit at the end, but that's fine. It was a great bit.
I'm really determined to ruin your bits this episode, huh?
That's fine. I mean, it's not fine because...
Bruh.
Good one.
Thanks, man. DB Cooper. So what's interesting about him is people think that he is a criminal mastermind. He's not, let me tell you. But I'll relay the story as told by a friend of the cast, Dax Shepard and pals on Without a Paddle.
Oh yes, friend of the cast, Dax Shepard. I've reached out to him. His people have yet to respond to me, but I'll keep trying.
We'll get him. Maybe we'll be on his podcast,
Yeah.
He's not much of a true crime guy, except in the film Without a Paddle, in which he...
don't forget literal... He commits crimes in Let's Go to Prison.
He does.
That is the truest. That is the truest of crimes. Let's not even forget.
He is a bit of a bad boy in that film.
He is. He makes Will Arnett gay.
He does make Will Arnett gay.
Anyway, DB Cooper, what's his deal?
Cooper. So he's like mid-40s, and the story goes that he gets on this plane, and he's going from like Portland to Seattle. Now, I don't know if you're a geography major. That's like a 30-minute flight.
Yeah, I was like, is that even worth flying?
No. This is in, I believe, 1971. I'm not looking at a Wikipedia article right now, as I normally do.
Oh, well, they didn't have security back then, so maybe that's a little bit more understandable.
I'm just going off memory of when I researched this. So this is 1971, and he's mid-40s. He gets on this tiny-ass plane. There's like 20 people on this plane. And he's sitting at the back, and he orders a bourbon and Coke. And let me just say, you're on a 30-minute flight, my dude. You're like, that's takeoff 10 minutes, and then you're landing.
I mean, honestly, if I was less fiscally responsible, I'd do that.
Okay, but this is also like 11 o'clock in the afternoon. This is like a daytime 30-minute flight for no reason.
11 o'clock in the afternoon?
Whatever.
The morning?
I mean, it's basically afternoon.
Okay. I mean, I might crack open one right now, and it's not even 11 o'clock in the morning or afternoon or whatever the fuck.
You should not crack open a cold one right now.
Oh, I'm gonna do it.
Wait, sorry.
Very nice.
It is very nice. It's a good way to start the day, man.
Oh yeah, you did just wake up.
Yeah. I woke up like an hour ago.
So he's on a 30-minute flight, Portland to Seattle, and he gets a bourbon and Coke. And it's a little questionable.
Debatably questionable, but fine.
It's a little questionable.
I'll let it go.
And then he tries to talk to this stewardess. Do not remember her name. I want to say Tabitha, but it's 1,000% not Tabitha. He hits up the stewardess, and he gives her a note, right? He just like hands her a little piece of paper with a note on it, and she doesn't even read it. She just like stuffs it in her pocket, like, okay, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, what the fuck? Like, he's trying to be a criminal mastermind here, drunk in the morning. Gotcha. In the morning. On a 30-minute flight. And he's like trying to commit some crimes here. And then the stewardess like walks away. And then when she comes back, he like leans over and he's like, you gotta like read the note. And then she's like, all right, fine, I'll read your stupid note. And she opens it up and it's like, I have a bomb. I need demands or whatever. And she's just like, okay, let me see the bomb. Like she's a stewardess. Like, what does she know? She just doesn't believe him. She's like, okay, buddy, sure, you have a bomb. Good job.
The 70s were wild.
It's like, that's pretty bold face. Just be like, okay.
Calling this dude's bluff just without even missing a step.
She thinks he's hitting on her. It's like, this is just like a pickup line.
Is that a bomb in your pants, or are you just happy to see me?
Yeah. And then
he's like, it's a bomb.
It's a bomb. And then he's like, listen, I need $200,000. I need parachutes, and we gotta land in Seattle, refuel, and then we're gonna go to another place. And they're like, all right, man, like, I guess, sure. Nobody's taking him seriously at this point, right? Probably.
No, probably not.
So they're gonna land in Seattle, but they want to get the 200,000. And what I found interesting about this is the owner of the airline was responsible for the 200,000. It's a little bit weird, right?
That is a little sus.
It's like, he didn't specify where the money is going to come from, but I feel like the owner of the airline is being wronged here.
Yeah.
I'm doing pretty good as far as geniuses go.
Yeah, so they get the 200,000, they get parachutes, and he requested civilian parachutes, not military parachutes.
Well, I feel like that's a misstep.
Yeah. So people say in the research, people say that like this is a master criminal move because civilian parachutes are more complicated than military parachutes. So he would have to like know to request those specifically. But I think that he didn't know what he was doing, and he was just like, don't give me military shit. That's got to be way complicated. Just give me the shit that people like use on their birthdays. Like,
yeah. The stuff that people in the future are going to skydive out of. Do they use civilian or those military too?
Those are civilian.
Yeah.
Like, those are the ones that he requested, is people use for the parties.
Yeah.
I just realized I played the wrong sound like a minute and a half ago. So it's fine. Don't worry about it. I can't hear the sounds for the audience. I don't know what sound I play. So he gets these parachutes, he gets the money, and then he asks the crew, where should we go? And they're like, what? And he's like, we gotta escape. We can't, I can't get off the plane now. So he's like discussing with the crew. He got all the hostages off the plane when they landed. And then he's just like with the crew, and they're like, I don't know, you want to like go to Mexico? He's like, yeah, Mexico. Gonna go to Mexico City with my 200,000 American dollars. Which, like, sure.
That would get you pretty far.
If you won $200,000 in the lottery, the first thing you would think is like, well, I'm going to Mexico. Like, it's like a party, you know?
I mean, the first thing I would think was I'm buying a van and I'm disappearing for a while.
Yeah. Well, that's a you problem.
Yeah, it is.
But the thing is about going to Mexico, if you recall, this is a plane that goes from Portland to Seattle. This is not a plane designed to go all the way to Mexico. So they would have to land in...
They got to gas up.
They got to gas up in Nevada.
Ugh.
So, like, what are the chances that you're going to land in Nevada and they're not going to get you? You already landed in Seattle or whatever, and they didn't get you. They know all about you. They got your demands. You don't have hostages anymore. You just have the pilot, I guess. Like, what are you thinking? Pick somewhere where you can get off. Land in a farmer's field in Wyoming or some shit. And then they're flying over to Nevada to refuel to go to Mexico, and he makes the crew go in the cockpit, and he jumps out the back, and he parachutes, and then no one ever heard from him again until Dax Shepard and Seth Green and Matthew Lillard discovered his body in 2004.
I mean, we've said it before on this podcast, but the Dax Shepard Cinematic Universe is one of the most culturally important things.
He actually does have, like, you could argue that it's one cinematic universe in his movies.
Yeah.
And I'm going to break that down now that we fulfilled the true crime component of the podcast.
Yeah, now we can get back on our bullshit.
What this podcast is really about, Dax Shepard films. So, in 2004, Without a Paddle comes out. And in that movie, he angrily states when he's accused of being a bit rude. No, not rude. Was he accused of? He's accused of being
For what? For what? Which movie?
In Without a Paddle, he's accused of being a layabout, essentially.
Yeah.
A lazy procrastinator.
A lazy fellow. Well, I feel like that's kind of a common thread throughout.
Yeah.
He's never really a stand-up.
No. But when he is accused, he angrily shouts, "Hey, I was Employee of the Month." Now, Employee of the Month came out in 2003, in which he was Employee of the Month. So, there's the connection right there. And then...
How does it connect to Let's Go to Prison?
Let's Go to Prison, according to Dax Shepard's Twitter, is the... what's the not off-brand... the side shoot, the like Joey after Friends
spinoff.
The spinoff. So the spinoff of Without a Paddle is Let's Go to Prison, which came out in 2005, 2006. So that's the story of his character in Without a Paddle. Outside of that, because they're not close in that movie. Like, they're childhood friends, and then they drifted apart, and then they got together to find D.B. Cooper's body. But in between time, that's when he goes to prison and makes Will Arnett gay. And then Zathura, let's be real here. Now, I don't say this lightly. Zathura is Dax Shepard's best movie. It's not my favorite, but it's his best movie.
Yeah.
That one...
is it non-canon?
It's a dream sequence.
Yeah.
They zoom out, and it was all a kid looking at a snow globe.
I hate that shit.
That reminds me, when I was in 4th grade... My teacher read the class a book except the last page, and then was like, okay, everybody, like, this is a writing exercise. Write the end of this story, but I know what you're all thinking. You can't just do it was all a dream. Like, don't be lazy. Just fucking, like, write a real ending, right?
Yeah. And they probably refused.
No. Everyone was like, okay, we got to do a real ending. So all these kids, there's like, this is how it ends, and then you get possessed and you die, and the moral of the story or whatever, right? They're like shitty endings, but they write an ending. And we spent 2 days writing this. It was like a 3-page ending. And we're 9, it takes a while.
That's a lot. Jesus.
Yeah. I don't remember really. I'm just guessing, but it was a long build-up, and then the teacher was like, "All right, we're gonna read everyone's ending to the class," and then that took a day, and then they're like, "Okay, now we're gonna read the actual ending," and the actual ending, it was a fucking dream.
I guess that's why it was a lesson in knowing that those endings suck, and that literally any ending is better than saying it was a dream.
It just felt vindictive to the author to be like, don't use bullshit like this. And then you spend so
I
much
think that's fair. It's fair to bitch at an author for that kind of nonsense, because that sucks.
It does. It absolutely does. But
I hate what's even worse than when an author does that is when somebody thinks it's like deep.
Yeah.
Like that is the lamest shit, man.
And that's why we don't like Inception, folks.
Whoa.
Not part of
That's
the BBC
different.
Cinematic Universe.
No, it's part of the BBC collection. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
No, I do like Inception. I think Inception is good.
It is a good movie. It's not like a super deep movie, but I don't think I've ever claimed that it is on this podcast. And people who think that it is, I think, are morons. But it is a good movie.
When it came out, I thought that it was super deep. And then
it came out like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, this is like good. And I was a dumbass teenager.
Yeah.
It's still good. It's a lot better than Christopher Nolan's other films.
Oh, Tenet sucks, man.
I haven't seen it, but
it's not good. It's just worse. It has some cool action sequences that make use of the like time reversing thing that the movie has as its gimmick. But yeah, dude, it's bad. Interstellar is good. I mean, people like The Dark Knight, and I guess that's valid.
You know what I say to Christopher Nolan's films that aren't Inception?
Good one.
Thanks, man. Was that the right sound?
If right sound was crickets chirping, then yes.
Yeah. You know what I say to Christopher Nolan's 2010 film Inception?
Very nice.
Well, I feel like it's about time we could wrap this up.
Yeah. I have
It's
no
been
idea how long
about
this is.
48 minutes, according to our good friend Zach, the producer. And that's not counting. That's not counting part one. Whatever's salvageable from that. So, we got an hour.
You want to zip these together?
Yeah, I can do that.
Sick.
Do you have anything to plug? I know you're working on music, but I don't think it's going to be released in the next 2 days.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long while. It's gonna be a long while. No, I don't have anything to plug. If you want to, I don't know, just listen to this podcast. It's good.
Well, let me plug hold on. I have a video coming out on Wednesday Pokemon video. It's fine. So look forward to that. And then follow
The 27th.
Bad Boy Crimes Pod on Twitter. Should I put the Discord link somewhere in there? So if people find that, they can join the Discord.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Why not?
I will do that at some point.
Cool.
So follow that Twitter. I will tweet the episodes. Christ. Oh, I didn't even talk about any of the political shit I wanted to talk about. I'll save that, I guess.
Yeah, you want to do a
No,
second episode?
not really.
All right.
I'm tired again.
It's probably that alcohol.
I only had like a couple sips. It's not that. It was the Benadryl I took last night.
You can't be taking Benadryl.
Oh, you can when you have allergies.
Yeah, every time I take Benadryl, I don't feel like it helps my allergies. I feel like it just puts me to sleep, and it's like, you can't feel itchy and like you're gonna die if you're asleep.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great solution.
I guess. I mean, it's fine. When I was 16 and I started getting allergies, I would take Benadryl, but it would just knock me out so quickly. So I would be like, what if I only take half? I ended up like cutting Benadryls in half with a quarter one day, and I'm like, this is a path that leads me to rob a dollar store with a knife.
Yeah, it's not a good look cutting up Benadryl.
Particularly with chains.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the end of this episode, folks. Look forward to next Monday, where we will be talking about. I didn't have.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna do a sound.
I looked at my list and I'm like, nah, I don't really have anything.
Cool. Well,
Where we will be talking about